Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to day 20 of albums that are 50 years old in 2023. That's right, we're going back 50 years, celebrating some fantastic albums released in the great year of 1973. That's what this month is all about. 31 days in January, we're picking out our 31 favorites, both you and I. That's right. I have somehow managed to come up with a list of 31 out of well over 100 albums that I really love a lot from this particular year. Can only pick 31 though, right? So there's some great ones that will be relegated to the honorable mentions list, but and it pains me to leave some of them off, but that's the way it goes when you have a great year like 1973. So let's get to our pick today, shall we? This particular one was released on March 28th, 1973, recorded at with the Rolling Stones Mobile at Olympic and Island Studios in London. Also some recordings from Headley Grange for Atlantic Records, produced by Jimmy Page. Of course, we're talking about Houses of the Holy. That's right, fifth album from the mighty Led Zeppelin. You know the band, right? That guy looks like Jimmy Page, like a relic from a different age. Woo-wee! Sorry, Paul McCartney and Wings reference there. Jimmy Page on all sorts of guitars and things, right? Got John Paul Jones on bass guitar and keyboards. John Bonham on drums. It's early, guys. It's really early. John Bonham on drums and percussion, and Robert Plant. All of a sudden, John and Robert became one person. Robert Plant on vocals, right? A fantastic album. Also, the album engineered by Eddie Kramer, right? So, yeah. Really strong album. In a line of strong albums, right? I mean, did Led Zeppelin ever release a bad album? I would say no. Did they have one or two slightly under par albums? Perhaps. But for me, every album from the first album up until Physical Graffiti, I think, is a drop-dead classic. I'd argue that Presence is really good, and In Through the Outdoor is pretty good. That's my take on the Zeppelin catalog for the most part. But yeah, there's some absolute classics on here. First of all, it starts off with the great Song Remains the Same. Later, they used that as a title for the live album, the concert film, the soundtrack to the movie, right? Song Remains the Same is a dynamite track. It rocks. It's got some amazing, nimble, and intricate guitar fills from Mr. Page. Great drumming. Love the vocals. Great song. Then you have the kind of the melancholy Rain song, which I also think is pretty damn tremendous. Is it a little too long? Some people say, the Rain song goes on and on. It's almost 8 minutes long. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't feel that long to me. I think it's just perfect length. And again, it just shows all the depth that this band always brought. Then you got Over the Hills and Far Away, playful, fun, right? Catchy. You got the crunge, right? Some people like the crunge. Some people don't like the crunge. It's kind of funky, kind of heavy, right? Kind of groovy, right? I think there's one of the things about this album, I think, that has always been intriguing for me. And, back in the day when I first started getting into Led Zeppelin, I didn't really appreciate this album as much because it was not through and through heavy enough, but now I really appreciate the variety on it, right? So a song like The Crunge, right? That funky, groovy kind of thing they got going on. I've made peace with it, right? Then you got Dancing Days, killer riff, fun song. Jamaica, the one song on here I could do with that, right? Jamaica is their little play on reggae. That's probably the one song in the Zeppelin catalog that has divided fans for years, right? The one could be their worst song, one of the few of their worst songs, right? Does it have some kind of charm? Because I know people love it, and there's a reason why they've played it on classic rock radio for decade after decade after decade. But to me, it's just kind of like a throwaway track. But, it's, again, shows some depth to what they do. Then you have the mighty No Quarter. No Quarter, arguably, top 1, 2, or 3 song on this album. No Quarter is just moody and ominous, and I love the guitar riff. The keys from John Paul Jones are amazing. Just a killer track. Even better on the live Song Remains the Same album, in my opinion. And then you have The Ocean, again, with that killer, monstrous proto-heavy metal riffing on it. The Ocean, one of their heavy tracks. Love The Ocean. Is it kind of one-dimensional? Tala agrees it's kind of one-dimensional, but I don't care. I think it's just absolutely great. I've always loved the Ocean. So, yeah, there you have it. I mean, just a spectacular album from me. Probably their most diverse album in the catalog. You could arguably say Physical Graffiti too, but that's a double album as far as like the single albums go. Between Led Zeppelin 3 and this album, I think that's where the band really tried all sorts of different stuff, and I think it works. I think it works. There's some legendary tracks on here, one, possibly two kind of somewhat middling tracks, but the rest is all top-notch stuff, and it's Led Zeppelin after all. So that is my pick today for day number 20. Let us know what you think of Houses of the Holy down in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 20 as we march all the way on to 31. So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. As I'm losing my voice, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. And down below, down there, in the video comments, in the video description box, you will see the link to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page for all sorts of cool Sea of Tranquility stuff that you can check out and wear and buy and show around and help spread the word, right? So thanks, everybody. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you tomorrow for day 21. And stay tuned for myself and Mr. Martin Popoff as we go visit the Fun House once again here on Friday. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you real soon. Don't forget, Sunday is Ranking the Albums Day. We've got Pat Benatar, Jamie Lazo, and myself will be ranking the catalog of the great Pat and Neil and company. So that's coming up on Sunday. So thanks, everybody. See you real soon. Bye-bye.